welcome to the Big Craft Box Educational Craft Week. I am so excited. We are going to have so much fun. My name is Veronica and I am going to help you to create beautiful, fun and interesting crafts that we can also learn from with all the products in this big box. I am not going to use everything, so after the week you will still have a lot of craft goodies that you can use to make your own stuff. I am also going to concentrate and do it on a very simple level, but if you are a bit older, you can just use your imagination and craft with us. So let's get ready for today's lesson.
Today we are going to make little hand monsters to help us with math. For the little ones, it will help to learn how to count. If you are a little bit older, you can just have fun and create some interesting, fun and quirky monsters. This craft box is filled with so much fun goodies, but we are only going to use a few items today. You can take out your paint pots, your paint brush. You can also take out your fun foam sheet, just one of them, and as well as the scissors, your packet of pom-poms, and then we are also going to use a marker which is not in the box, but you can ask mommy for one. Then there's a tub of white glue and the googly eyes. For now, this is all that we are going to use. You can take your box and put it to the side so that you have enough space on the desk to work on. I also have a palette book which is specifically made for you to mix paint on, but you can use any container to mix your paints. Okay, so please remove the plastic from your paint tubs and throw it in the dustbin, and put your paints on the table because we are going to use it. You can now take a ruler and a pencil and you can divide your foam sheet into two, right in the middle. We are going to cut it so that we have two pieces that is the same size. Okay, now we are going to draw our hands with the black marker onto the foam sheet. Now you must remember that my hands are very big. Your hands will fit easily onto the foam sheet. So all you do is you go all along your fingers and draw the outline of your own hand. If you are still struggling with this, please ask mommy or daddy to help you. Okay, so there I've got a big hand on my one sheet. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult because I'm going to have to use my left hand, which I don't normally write with, to draw my right hand. If you are left-handed, this will be easy for you, and if you are right-handed, it is going to take some practicing to do this. But please try, and if you really battle, then ask mommy or daddy to help you. This is really good to exercise your non-writing hand. And of course, if you are left-handed, it will just be the other way around. Okay, so now you take your scissors that you found in your craft box. It looks different from mine. I'm using a bigger scissor and I'm going to cut out the hands. You can take your time. You don't have to rush. If I'm working too fast for you, you are welcome to pause the video and restart it again when you are done. So the reason why we are making hand monsters is because when you start to learn how to count, you count on your fingers. On your one hand, you can count from 1 to 5. And on the other hand, you can count from 6 to 10. And we are going to use these little hand monsters to help us to count. And if you are a little bit older, it can also help you to do sums. You can learn how to add and subtract by using the little monster fingers. And of course, if you are bigger and you can already count to 20 or 50 or even 100, you can just do this project with us and create fun and quirky monsters to put up in your room or to play with. You can even keep it to the side because next month is Father's Day, and then you can use these little monsters on the outside of a handmade card, and you can write Daddy a beautiful note and say with love from your little monster. Okay, so when I'm finished cutting, I never throw what is left over away, because these pieces we can still use in other projects. So take them and put them back into your box for safekeeping. Now the foam sheet in my box was brown, and I really don't want to make brown monsters, so I'm going to paint them. So you can decide your own colors that you want to use, but I am going to make one little monster red and the other one green. So I'm going to open my tub and I'm going to take my paintbrush and paint my one hand red. Not my real hand, the foam hand. A very important thing to remember once you're done is to always wash your paintbrush. If you leave the paint on it and it dries, then you have to throw it away because you will never be able to clean it. Okay, so I've got my red hand for my red monster. Please take the lid of your red paint and put it back and close it properly so that your paint don't dry or spill. Now my second monster, I want to make a green one, but I don't have green paint, so I'm going to mix blue and yellow because blue and yellow paint makes green. I am going to scoop some of the blue paint and some of the yellow paint onto my palette book. You can just do it in your mixing bowl or whatever you use to mix your paint on. I'm first removing all the paint from the lid because I don't like to waste. I am doing exactly the same with the yellow, but I have to take a little bit more out of the pot because I did not have enough on the lid. Make sure that your hands are clean if you have paint on it, because we don't want to smudge paint on anything. I'm also just going to close the lid of my yellow paint to keep it safe. Now I'm not going to mix everything at once because I want a nice bright green for my monster. So I'm bringing some of the yellow paint to the blue and I'm mixing it in the middle. Now I can see that I will need much more yellow than blue to get the green that I want. So I'm not going to mix more blue into this paint. Of course, if you want a blue monster, you can just paint it blue. And if you want a purple monster, you have to mix blue and red. I'm going to paint my other hand, my other foam hand, with the green paint. Okay, so there I have two hands to make two little monsters. But the one I want to make upside down so that they don't look exactly the same. So I'm going to turn the green one around. Mine is still wet, so I'm working very careful. You, of course, can wait until it is completely dry before you pick them up again. So while we wait for the paint to dry, we are going to open the packet of googly eyes to see what we are going to use on our monsters. Open the packet carefully, because if these little things fall over the floor, it's going to be tricky to pick them up. I also don't want to just throw them out of the packet onto the table. So I'm going to use the lid of one of the paint tubs because it's got an edge and it will help that the googly eyes don't fall off. Now, of course, your monsters is going to be slightly smaller than mine because I've got big adult hands. So I'm going to choose the biggest eyes for my monster. You choose whatever you want to use. But for the red monster, we need one big eye, and 5 small ones to put on the fingers. See, there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the green monster is only going to get 2 eyes, one big one and one small one. So we have to put these googly eyes back into the packet. Now sometimes it can be tricky because one side of the packet is sticky, and if you try to put the googly eyes back in, it is going to stick on the one side of the package. You can see that even for me as an adult, it's tricky to get all of them back into the packet. So I'm going to show you a neat little trick if you want to throw small things into a packet. I am going to borrow one of the pieces of paper from the box. I'm going to fold it into a funnel, and I'm going to put the small side into the packet. And then I'm simply going to throw the eyes in at the top, and they will all go neatly into the bag. And there we have it. You can seal your packet of googly eyes and you can put it back into the box. We don't need to put this back, but don't throw it away because we might use it in a next project. Now I want you to take the packet of pom-poms and select 5 pom-poms for the other 5 fingers. And I want you to open up the packet neatly so that we can close it again and put it all out on the table because the very small pom-poms is right at the bottom. You can choose whatever colors you want to, and I am going to choose red and purple for my green monster. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 6, 5. 5 pom-poms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my green monster. I'm going to put the rest of the pom-poms back into the bag, seal it and put it neatly back into the box. Okay, so our little hand monsters is dry, and now we are going to glue the pom-poms and the googly eyes with this tub of glue. So first I'm going to take one of the big eyes and put a little bit of glue at the back. and I'm going to glue it right in the middle of my green monster's hand. Now the smaller googly eyes is a bit tricky to pick up, so instead of putting the glue on the small googly eyes, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on each of the fingers of the green monster, and then I'm going to pick up the googly eyes and I'm going to put it onto the glue. Now our red monster, or my red monster, is going to get two eyes, a big one and a small one. And I'm going to put it on top where I suppose his head would be. Now I can see that this red little monster needs a mouth and some teeth. So I'm going to take a white piece of paper that is not included in the box, but I'm pretty sure that you will find a piece of white paper somewhere. And I'm going to cut two small triangles to make two skewed teeth for my monster. Inside the big craft box there is a glue stick that I'm going to use to glue the paper onto the foam. Now first I'm going to take the black marker or black Koki pen and I'm going to draw a mouth so that I know where to put the teeth. So I'm going to glue one that is going up and the other one that's going down. I'm going to take my glue stick again and I'm going to dab some glue onto the legs of my red monster. Yes, my red monster has got 5 legs and I'm going to give him some shoes by using the pom-poms. So all you do now is you just stick your pom-poms onto the glue and wait for it to completely dry before you play with your monsters. Okay, so now we also need to make a friendly face for our green monster, and I'm going to draw a big black smile with my Koki pen. I'm just going to put my monsters on a whiteboard so that you can see them and see how pretty they look. So now you can use your little monster hands. If you want to learn how to count, if you're very small, you can use your monster hands. You can pick it up and you can turn the fingers around and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you are a little bit older and you want to learn how to count to 10, you can use both hands. Of course, if you already know how to count, then you can use these monsters just as decoration in your room, or like I said earlier, you can keep them to make a Father's Day card for Daddy in June. So there we have it. Our class for today. I hope you enjoyed it.